Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Your Content Factory. My name is Blake. I will be your host today. And again, we're here in Blueform Media Studios. My wife, Mallory, is on the controls. And we're pleased to have you. And we're also pleased to have here in the studio, go ahead and pan, Lily Dalen.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Lily, thanks for being here. This is dope. For those of you who've tuned in before, we've had a long hiatus. We're coming back strong this year with just picking people's brains about how they use content or social media or whatever they're doing in front of a camera or mic to grow their business, to amplify the intention that they bring into their business using social media. That's the whole purpose of this podcast, by the way. So I specifically asked Lily recently because we've been doing some work together on some exciting stuff she's got going on. And also, Lily, how long have you been my barber?
Oh, I've probably been your barber, like 3.5 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on like almost 4, I think.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, almost the whole time I've been since we moved down here, right, Mal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And pretty much the whole time since I started barbering.
Yeah, you were brand new.
Yeah. I was giving terrible haircuts and he still came to me.
No,
An OG.
Did. No, I've okay, so today's episode, we're going to interview Lily. She's been my barber for almost 4 years. Hopefully you just caught that because you listened to it. But I have had some horrible experiences with female haircuts. I wouldn't call them barbers. Some were good, but it's hit or miss. Like usually a guy barber, you'll get some bad ones out there, but I haven't really had like a straight like fuck up of a haircut. Unless it was like a girl barber, unfortunately. So I was kind of nervous. I walked in, I was kind of in a rush. And Lily, you were just starting, so you were just like accepting walk-ins, I believe, at the time, which is not a thing for you now.
No, not at all.
There's no way, which is so cool. So we're going to get into that. But yeah, I think I walked in and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, cute little blonde girl. I was like, whatever, I'll give it a go. And then sat down in the chair. Totally awesome. Easy to vibe with. Cool stories, listens well, because that's part of the barbering experience, right? It's
being a therapist is my second job.
Yeah, exactly.
Barber first, therapist second.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm sure there's days where it's flipped, like you're a therapist first.
Oh, yeah. And then there's days where I have clients that are my therapists. I'm like, I don't have time to listen to you today. I need to vent. You know all my stuff. So, and they give you the best advice, and some of them, they love that. They're like, we just love being your therapist, and because you need one. And I'm like, I do that, Katie.
That's like the age-old tradition of barbering too. It's like a place for men to just kind of gather and, get
and have fun,
get trimmed
and
up.
shoot the shit.
And so it's really cool. Lily's done a great job with my hair and my beard. I'm on her schedule regularly. So, but we want to break down today because you're doing some cool things on social media that are really affecting your revenue as a business owner in your barbering world. But we want to start out, like, how did you get started into barbering? Start us from the beginning. Like, I know you did something else before.
So my whole goal going into like hair, like I went into hair school thinking that I was going to love to do women's hair. That color and highlighting and all that was going to be like my jam, my cup of tea. And I started to learn it and I started to go, Mayday, I hate this. Like, what am I going to do? But I love hair. And so I didn't have a fallback plan. I was like, uh-oh. And then we learned the barbering part. And it all clicked and it all made sense. And I've always been around men my whole life through hunting camp, with my dad, all of his friends. I'm an only child, so I was always around my dad's friends. And
so you were like daddy's little girl.
Yeah, daddy's little girl.
Doing the boy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of tomboyish.
Oh, very tomboyish. Dad had a beard that always went down to his stomach, and I always loved it, and it intrigued me. And so when we started doing the men's cuts, I was like, this is where it just clicked. I found my talent and I just felt like I belonged in that community more so than the women's community. And then I just kind of took off and ran from there.
That's dope. So I didn't know, I thought like hair school was like only, that makes sense that they would teach men's haircuts as well.
Yeah, so I moved from Nevada to Utah because Utah offers a full cosmetology, barber, and nail license and a basic esthetician license all in 1 year of school. If I was in Nevada, I'd have to do cosmetology school and then go to barber school and then go to esthetician school. So I moved here to be able to do all of it in one licensing so I could avoid all that. And
Wow.
so now I can do barbering, I could do women's hair, I could do nails, I could do lashes. So I was able to take a lot of that into my barbering. I offer men's facials, I offer waxings, I offer extractions. So things that, you know, I was able to tie in the women's to the men's side and make it work, and it works great for me.
That's interesting. So I did not know that about the licensing. Is that a common thing for people to come up here for school?
I think so, yeah.
Because does your license transfer over if you go to Nevada?
I think so, but I would have to take like I think it's their state laws test and pay like $500. Other than that, it goes over fine.
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. But yeah, that beats like what? How long are these schools individually if you were to do it in Nevada?
Ooh, I think they're about a year apiece in Nevada too. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I feel like cosmetology school is a year, barber school maybe was like 6-8 months, and then nails is like 6-8 months. So
Dude, that's crazy, man.
yeah.
Like, okay, don't hate me out there, folks, but like that is more training than like police officers get.
That's what we all thought when we were in school. I was like, why am I
Why the
have more
hell?
hours than the cop? Okay, whatever.
Like it's so important that you trim hair correctly. But yeah, you want to go to police academy? Yeah, go ahead. Like 2 weeks. I don't know what it is.
You can't
It's
even
like,
have charges to get a cosmetology license. Like I had gotten into some trouble and I had to plead a case of like, hey, like I can serve the public even though, you know, I got in trouble for weed. Yeah.
So to get that license, you can't even have a record.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah, like certain things like I had gotten in trouble for weed and stuff. So like that stuff you can, but if it's anything domestic violence, anything that you could hurt someone in the public, they're out. You're out.
I guess that kind of makes sense if you're holding
Yeah.
a straight razor to my throat. So
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I get it. Yeah.
I would appreciate that. Maybe I should have looked into that more. But like who
Yeah, you're
who's
like,
this guy or girl just like putting a razor blade to my jugular?
I know.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I see the relevance. It's important to have some regulation and some, but I think that's kind of extreme
Yeah.
to do that much.
I know. I had to send a letter. I had to send my court case. I had to send my lawyer. Had to send something. Like it was insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got
that's
approved,
interesting.
so here we are.
So here you are.
We made it.
So what kind of brought you into the cosmetology? Like you just knew that's what you wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So was that like right out of high school or what?
Yeah. So I've been very fortunate in the fact that I've known I've wanted to do hair since I was 6 years old. My mom's hairdresser kind of saw that spark in me because I would sit there and just watch her cut my mom's hair and do my mom's hair. She's like, kids usually just sit and color and do whatever, but I love to watch and to learn. So she got me my own mannequin head, cape, stand, and I just started going to town. I love to do hair, braid, all sorts of stuff. I was always doing my cousin's hair. In high school, I was the hair and makeup girl for prom, homecoming. There was even one year I was grounded and I had to do everyone's makeup for prom and then had to go home after. Like, that's how it was.
Not how to go to prom. Okay.
Yeah, we're
That's
not allowed to go to
interesting.
prom.
So you've been doing this for a long time then.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
basically got through high school, knew that I was going to go to cosmetology school, graduated, and a month later I moved to Utah and started a month after that, and
Dang.
that was that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. But like the first time I remember you said you'd moved here. But yeah, it's been good. So so Lily's been cutting my hair for a while. We just, talks in the barber chair.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, you've been seeing us play by play with Blueform Media.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've been seeing it too with the Tatted Barber. Go ahead and
Tatted Barber.
plug your brand, your barbershop brand. Like you are the Tatted Barber.
I am the Tatted Barber.
And I was hoping you would wear short sleeves, but you can pull them up.
It's cold, man.
Yeah, it is.
All my
It's
tattoos
freezing.
are from here down.
Yeah. So yeah, Lily's got some awesome pieces too.
Yeah, got a bunch.
I think you just got a new one on your leg, right?
Yeah, I just got a
That's
piece
sick.
for my friend that had passed away last year, and so got a piece for her. So
Nice.
that was fun to honor her.
That's another art that social media can really help too. Is anything visual kind of thing like that
Yes.
is really good medium for that.
Exactly.
We should have some tattoo artists on, Mal. Let's make a note of that. Hold on, let me make a note of that.
The girl that was on Dino.
Yeah, someone like her. I think we should find. She's pretty novice though. She's a great tattoo artist, but I want to find like a veteran of the tattoo
Matt
industry.
Pearson.
Matt, is he your guy?
Mm-hmm, that's who has done a few of my pieces.
Yeah,
He
pretty
does
cool.
Great. Yeah, he's awesome.
How's is he doing good on social media too, or is he kind of word of mouth?
he's got like 30,000 followers maybe.
Nice.
Like he does well. He has a full clientele. Doesn't need to take any new clients.
Yeah, he's
Is
booked out.
Booked out. Yeah, it's phenomenal. super good at what he does, professional, fast. Yeah, I love going to see him. He's a great tattoo artist.
I'm going to write what is his name? Matt Pierce?
Matt Pearson. At Zion. He owns the Zion Tattoo Company.
Oh, I think that's where that girl worked, Mal. We'll have to we'll cross-reference that. But we had a tattoo artist on a podcast here with one of our clients. And she did ink on
Oh, yeah. She works at, because I recognize her page. I'm pretty sure she works at Medusa.
Ah, okay. That's right.
That, or she just moved to Chaperone. That's where she's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, Utah, St. George is a small world too, so there's a lot of good people here. But, but yeah, that's awesome. So you got into barbering, and then you moved here. So why did you move to St. George if you were in? You moved here for the cosmetology school?
Yeah, so I moved from Reno, Nevada. So I had heard about Taylor Andrews when I was a freshman in high school and did a lot of research, and I loved it. I loved what they were about, what they taught, but my only issue was they were in St. George and Salt Lake. And my mom is originally from St. George, born and raised, so I've been coming here since I was practically out the womb. And so grew up here. I'm like, this is my second home. So my mom was like, you might as well move where you have a support system. I have a bunch of family down here who are really awesome. And so support me and stuff, and have some other family that's not so awesome, but it is what it is.
Yeah, so you knew the area then.
Yeah, so I knew the area, knew some people, so it was kind of nice that I had people to rely on and fall back on, and it was good.
So how many, like your first month, how many clients did you have? Like how many haircuts did you do in your first month? Was that support system pretty good?
I would say it was pretty good. They supported me more in school, I would say, than when I got outside of school. But yeah, once I got out, I started working at the Goat, which is like a franchise type of place.
Yep.
I was receptioning there, and then I kind of transitioned to being a barber, learned a bunch of stuff from some phenomenal barbers there. Fabi, she taught me everything that a lot that I know and skill. And then after that, I was able to kind of level up and with my skill, and I got a job offer from the Barber Collective, worked over there for a couple years. That's where I met Blake, and he started coming to me.
Yep.
And then I decided to kind of move on from there, and I am at where I'm at now. So I'm at a place called Rabbits and Rocket Ships. It's so freaking dope. You have to come check this out.
I love that barbershop. So the vibes in there, it's like a really old kind of rundown building, but you guys, there's so much charm in there.
Yeah, I say imagine a mom and pa diner, but the barbershop edition. Random shit all over the walls. You got a hole here, you got this here, but it's fun and everyone loves it. Like I worked at another barbershop, and it was everyone that walked in was like, oh, we don't really like this. Like, this just looks white and sterile. And so they love the character of our shop because it's all us and all of the things that we've brought and our own decor.
I only got my hair cut by you once at that other shop. And we won't mention it because it's still a great shop. But, like, yeah, it was super sterile.
Yeah.
And it echoed like crazy in there.
Yeah.
Which, for me and my bad ears, thanks, Uncle Sam. Like, I couldn't hear shit. I was like, huh?
Well, I'm like, I don't want 500 people down the aisle to hear what I'm talking about. So, great barbershop, but just wasn't the vibe for what I was going for with my clientele.
Yeah, because people are venting to you in the chair, there is a level of like, privacy. Yeah. Because, you're talking about whatever. It's kind of between you and your barber. It's like it's a vent session, so it's awesome. Yeah. And like, I love going to Lily and just bragging about Mal. Yeah. All of the progress, like everything she's doing. So big shout out to Mal right now. If you guys are following Blue Forum, like she's behind nearly every single podcast, just doing all of the doing that goes behind the scenes here, setting up the rooms, everything. And she's killing it. And we got more employees. We've just doubled revenue every single year we've been doing this. And so that's what I just sit in the chair and talk about Mal all the time. So I apologize.
Oh, I don't care. I love her just as much. So it works.
It works. So, but yeah, let's talk about your profession though. So like, as a female barber is not very common, right? So obviously, you kind of gave us some insight why you like barbering, how you were raised, being the tomboy and stuff. But what would you say? What is the best part about being a female barber, and then what is the worst part?
I would say, I'm gonna start with the worst part. I would say the worst part is the amount of people that don't believe in you because of your gender. I have men that I'm like, hey, you should let me cut your hair, and they're like, a female? cuts hair. No, I'm not going to a female. I've
Yeah.
had dudes walk into the barbershop and I'm the only one available and everyone else is full and they're like, we'll wait for one of the men.
Yeah.
When 98% of the time I gave a better cut than most of the men.
That's true.
And so, not too my own horn, but, you know, you got
Well,
to.
it's true. So, you know, I think too, in defense of most guys, right? It's a male-dominated career.
Yeah.
And I have video proof. Maybe we can show an image at we'll edit it in or something, and a clip. But I have video proof of how bad. Also, okay, every time I've gone to a girl, not every time, a lot of times, because I would find a good, like even in the military, right? I need that high and tight fade.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls in Utah don't know how to do that.
No.
A lot of guys don't know how to do it well
and I
either.
was fortunate enough to work for a guy named Scott Hatfield, who was a veteran, who did do high and tights, and that was like his jam. And so he was like, and I worked at his shop, the Barber Collective, and it was, if you want to work here, you better know how to do a high and tight because
Yeah, he
that's
was
what
all
we're
about the
pumping
fade.
you. So now I do so many high and tights, but I'm good at them because I learned them and,
Yes.
you know, took that skill. And so,
Yeah, so I've had more haircuts messed up by girls than guys, and so I was very selective. So I understand their, like, because I think a lot of girls, if they're cutting hair, I don't think they're as passionate about it as you are. I think they
Yeah.
might want to they just took a job or like
yeah.
something.
I call
don't know.
Utah the 3 M's and the B: mission, military, marriage, beauty school.
That's actually pretty good.
Because, like,
Let's check that with Mal. Mal, is that pretty accurate?
Spot on.
Spot on. Well, because I
on.
went to school with so many girls that were like, my mom told me to go on a mission or go to beauty school, and I wasn't going on a mission. Or some of their parents were like, go do something. Just go to school for a year. And so they were like, we just went to beauty school. I went to school. There was 10 people in my class, maybe. I think 2 of us do hair now. Still.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the other 8 were just kind of there.
Just somewhere
Just to be
just came
doing
because they just got
something.
married and their husbands were like, go do this, we'll pay for it. And then
Yeah.
half of them are divorced now. So
That's funny. Yeah, that's like everybody. Like half of everybody is divorced
Yeah.
now.
Welcome to Utah.
Yeah. I mean, Mal and I both got one or two under the belt. So, you know, I think it's a good thing though. Like,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
it means that more people, I said this on another show, I think more people are standing up for like their authenticity, or at least trying to. I think a lot of people I think they go about it wrong. But anyway, that's another topic. But yes, that's awesome. So the 3 M's and a B,
Yeah.
Mormon, military, married,
Yeah. Mission.
mission. Oh, that's
Beauty
right.
school.
Mission, military, married,
Marriage, beauty
and
school.
beauty school. That's funny. Yeah, Utah's an interesting place. Great place to be.
Yeah.
But there's
I
some
love it
quirks
here.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I've had excellent haircuts from men, and most of them were, if they weren't excellent, they were like good.
Mhm.
And then it was hit or miss with a lot of girl barbers. But
Yeah.
I will say, when a girl barber like you, it's top notch, right?
Thank
so
you.
that's why I keep coming back.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to, like, I knew that stigma was around, like, for female barbers. So I was like, I don't want to be that female barber that men are scared to go to. I want them to be like, no, I go to a female barber and she kills it.
Yeah.
And that's how my guys are. They're very
yeah.
like, no, my girl, she got me. Like, she gets me right. And so it's fun being a female. Like, I like it. You know, it's fun to go into a male dominated industry and dominate the industry.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. And so I watched my mom do it. My mom and dad own a construction company, and mom was the badass that was demanding the men to give her respect and everything on job sites. And so, like, I watched my mom go into a male-dominated field and just kill it. And I was like, you know what? That's going to be me. And so I get a lot of it from her.
And like me and Mal talk about this a lot, but like in a male dominated field, like results are usually king.
Mhm.
Unless you're in politics, and then it's just schmoozing and all that shit. But yeah, usually, like, you know, results are king. And so when you come into a male dominated area, and if you're not producing results, guy or girl, like, you're just not leading the way. You know,
Yeah.
you're kind of maybe middle of the pack or below, but that's just kind of how men operate anyway. It's like,
Agreed.
give me a reason to respect you first. It's like, your respect is just a basic here, but like, give me a reason to go beyond.
Yeah,
And so when
exactly.
you get results, like probably your mom was doing,
Mhm.
you know, she's kicking ass, taking names, and not just like bossing around and then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Because I know guys that do that. I know girls that do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of girls, they just walk around like this and they're like, gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
Right. And that might work in other cases, you know, but, and Matt, maybe you can talk to this too, but like, if we can edit this out if you want, but if Mal and I have noticed that there's a few types of people that want our service for free and they always try to haggle it. Mal, go ahead, because I like when you say this.
Yeah. Sorry, let me pick up my mic. There's a couple of, groups of people that we have noticed try to get things for free from us. One being Mormons, MLMers, or a combo, real estate agents, and then unfortunately female business owners.
Yeah.
Wah wah.
Wah, wah. Yeah, it's always
Oopsie.
it's always those three.
Yeah.
We'll just put Mormons and MLMs together because they're
Together.
usually
They're usually.
the religion is like basically an MLM.
Yeah.
You know, give us value now and you'll get your value later in the next life.
Yeah.
Same thing with MLM. Give us value now and then you'll make your money later.
You're like, you're wrong.
Yeah, so that's cool if people want to go do that or worship that way or do their business that way. That's fine. I just don't agree with it. But they're always trying to like, how about you give us the work for free, and then we'll plug you into our network, and then everybody, people will buy. So many people will buy your service.
I even have dudes that like try to get free haircuts and stuff, and I'm like, I know you make money. Like, you're not getting out of this just because of, I have guys that try to get free stuff all the time. I'm like, wrong.
Don't.
Unless you're
don't
one of my
do that.
OGs and you're like I give out freebies all the time to my OGs. Like, I'm like, oh,
Sure.
you need a beard trim here? Like, let me just hook you up real fast.
Yeah,
you know?
there's been times where you're like, no worries.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
But then there's also times like if I'm in your chair and I like your haircut, like I tip big.
Yes.
I tip big. Me and Mal do it at restaurants. We just want that karma to be good. We just like, if we enjoyed, if you went above and beyond for us, even if you were just good, like at a restaurant, we'll still tip well, but like we'll tip fat on some other stuff. I just think it's important for the craft.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think too, like, what goes around comes around. And I think when you are compassionate with your clientele, your clientele's compassionate with you. I mean, being a female, there's times where it's my time of the month and I'm, can't come in and I have to change clients. And so if I'm flexible with them, they're flexible with me. Because I have guys, I had a guy today, hey, I'm doing the parade of homes. Like, I'm not going to be able to make it 5 minutes before his appointment. I'm not going to charge him because there's been times where I've had to switch on him because I don't feel good or something has arose. And so when you're chill with your clients are chill with you. And I've noticed that I get less cancellations when I don't charge for a cancellation fee because they respect my time more instead of, I can just pay her. I do have dudes that they do pay me when they do miss their appointment, but that's because they want to, not because they have to, because they do respect my time, not because they have to respect my time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a cool thing.
And you're going for longevity with these people, right? You want to, some people, I think in any business, they might see, I sold one haircut, right? Or I sold one product, or we did one podcast for somebody. Like, that's cool, but are they coming back for more, right? The return service is huge.
Yeah.
So what are some strategies that you have for that? Because when I met you, you just started. I was like, I could walk in anytime. I could text you and be like, hey, sorry, because I was on a traveling sales team, so I was like in and out, and you were available. But then all of a sudden, you like started. I had to like, okay, I got to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lily's schedule's filling up. So tell us about the journey there, and what kind of tools did you use to start getting return clients, getting them back in your chair?
So I would say, like, it really started to pick up for me when I went to the Barber Collective, not only because they had such a great location of so many other businesses around that we had so many walk-ins, but I really utilized the fact that I am a very strong speaker and I'm good with people. So I'm not afraid to talk to anyone. I would just go up to the randomest men on the street and be like, let me cut your hair. Here's my card. I like your beard. Let me cut it. Like, I just was hoping that these men would take a chance on me. I'd go to the gym and say, hey, I really like your haircut. You should let me do it next time. And 99% of the time they were like, yeah, we would love that because you went out of your way. And then I really started to utilize social media. I didn't really use it a whole lot when I was at Barber Collective, and I was just, kind of pacing and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get ahead of the game. Like, I need to start posting. I need to make a name for myself. I need to make a profile. So I changed my name to The Tatted Barber, and I just took off. I started posting every Monday, reminding people they need to get booked because I'm getting booked out. And I still have clients to this day that go, I wait for your post on Monday so I can just click it and go about my day, and it's easy. Or I forget that I need
I'm
a
one of
haircut.
those.
Yeah, I forget that I need a
Yeah.
haircut, and so they're going through stores and they go, oh, Lily's got availabilities, let me press it real fast. But I noticed that when I started to build my clientele was when I said, let's get you rebooked right now. Because men usually they've got so many things going on and they won't rebook appointments if you don't ask them.
Oh, yeah.
So I just be like, hey, let's get you on a schedule. Do you want 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Like, what are you feeling? And 90% of the guys got on a schedule. I have about 10% that can't because of their jobs and their work lives and all sorts of stuff. But those are the guys that I make room for. I have the room for. I supply for them. So yeah, that's kind of.
So that was like your first method you started doing.
Yeah.
And that's so helpful for guys too, because I do it. Mal sees me do it with my friends even.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just getting together to play Dungeons and Dragons and drink, and like we have a great time. And then they're walking out the door, and I'm like, wait, when are we coming back? Like let's get it going. And then we find a rhythm, and now it's like I have a group coming over tonight every Friday. They're here at 7, right? So and that's just for fun, but it works for clients as well. We do that. Mal did that today with the client. It's like, when are we booking your next podcast? Because they just started. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Aaron Andrus and the Sanctuary Wellness. Is that right, Mal?
The Sanctuary
Holistic. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Yeah,
The
we're still.
Sanctuary. You could say the Sanctuary.
The Sanctuary. But she does the parasite cleanse.
Oh yeah.
And she's awesome. But yeah, same thing. We're just like, hey, when is the next time we're doing this? Because there's, especially out of the haircut, it's so easy to just like, oh, I gotta go, let me pay.
Yeah.
And then you just slip it in there like, hey, let's get you on the books right now, right?
Yeah. And that's how I have a full clientele, is just getting people rebooked. And then you're not scared. You're not like, oh, I don't have anyone today. Like, am I gonna get a walk-in? Am I gonna not? So I have my days booked months in advance.
And then how does the social media, because that's like the number one thing, is you built a skill in person. Mm-hmm. So when you do, like, let's say if let's say you have an awesome social media page and it pulls someone in, but you don't have the skills in person, right? Or to get them back. Like, it's not a guarantee that they're going to return through social media. They come back for Lily. They might find you through social media. So in person, you got the skill, you can get them rebooked. But as far as like, you said you post Mondays. What does that look like? Is that a story? What is that?
So I post a story every Monday saying, hey, get your appointments booked for the week. Like, I'm filling fast. I usually only have about like 3 or 4 spots that I keep available throughout the week for people that like to book online and stuff like that. Other than that, most people generally text me or DM me. I kind of have my guys on like a texting because I like to be able to put them where I want, and so I don't have gaps and I can avoid stuff like that. But yeah, I do that, and then I try to post like once or twice a week, like a haircut I've done, or I've recently started getting into making like reels and making like funny TikToks about, clients or haircuts. And so that's kind of helped gather traction and stuff like that. And I really noticed, like, when I started making myself known of who I was, who is Lily, who is the girl behind the haircuts. Because have you ever gone on an Instagram and you're like, who the hell is going to give me this tattoo? Or who the hell is going to give me this haircut? They don't have their face on there. They don't have anything.
Yeah, they have their work.
But they don't have, because
who is he?
Yeah, who? Like, I'll go on people's profile, and if I can't see who you are, I'm going and I'm clicking to the next person because I want to see your face. Yeah. I want to see who you are.
It's a balance of both.
Yes.
Right? Especially with Instagram too. It's there's a balance of, a reel versus pictures and a carousel and like all these things we've found.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate balance on Instagram, but you seem to got it down.
Yeah, because I went from, I just looked at my algorithm in the past 30 days because I started posting reels and consistently. In the past 30 days, I've had 32,000 people view my profile, which is over 1,000 people a day looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
do you know does it break it down where you can see the demographic of like location? Are they here in St. George?
Yeah, a lot of them are in St. George. So I have a lot in St. George, in Salt Lake, and Washington. That was kind of an interesting one. But I have a lot of guys that do drive down from Salt Lake to come get haircuts by me. So that's kind of
they're going to Vegas for work, or they're doing something down here.
Yeah, I even had a guy just come from Fillmore. He was like, you have a client in St. George. I'm from Fillmore. He said that you give an awesome haircut. So I drove down here to get a haircut by you.
Whoa.
And
That's cool.
Dang.
That's awesome. So that, the whole point of this show, right, is to dissect this content factory, because like we were saying, you can do something once for somebody, but you want them back, right? And it's the same thing with social media. Like you can do a really cool video once, hoping that you go viral, or you can post once and be like, oh, nothing happened. That's not your first 100 posts, your first 100 videos are going to be horrible. You got to find a rhythm, you got to find a niche, and you have it all. You have a product that you've attached to your identity as well. And it's so intertwined. Me and Mal were talking about the other day. We just love your branding.
Thank you.
It's just Lily.
Yeah.
And it's a unique style. You use the same filter on all of your Instagram posts, right?
I take pictures in the same spots. Like I want when I want people to, when they look at my Instagram, I want them to be like, wow, like this looks great. This is a great portfolio. Because what a lot of people don't understand is your Instagram is your portfolio.
It's a business card.
That's your business card. When you, like, I've had people be like, oh, like, what do your haircuts look like? Here you go. You get to see you can see haircuts, beard trims, all sorts of stuff. So then they kind of see like, okay, yeah, this is someone that I want to go to. And like, I've been in shops where people don't utilize social media and I see them sitting there all day. And then I utilize social media and I constantly have people in my chair, in and out, in and out. Yeah. I am back to back. Like you're in, my next person's in before you're even out.
Yeah.
Like
that's been a constant too. I'll say it. But like every time, no matter what shop you've been at, there was always someone in the chair before me. Like the seat was warm, right? Like because somebody was there, and then I'm walking out, pay him like, hey, schedule the next one, and then like I see another guy, what's up, dude? And he's like, what's up? And then he sits down in your chair. Yeah. Like it's just it's methodical. So we applaud you in your tactics of social media. You're putting yourself out there. You're doing the work.
Yeah.
Is it luck, Lily?
Oh, yeah,
Just so lucky.
I'm so lucky. No, bitch.
Fuck
it's hard
noise.
Fucking work.
It is. Yeah, if anyone says it's luck, that's what they always say. Because I don't think, not everybody sees the grind.
No, they don't see that I'm up at 5 a.m. every day going to the gym because I don't have time after because I have so many clients. Because I'm someone that, whether this is a blessing or a curse for me, I don't really know yet. But for me, it's a blessing. I work around my guys. I don't go in earlier than 10, but I will stay as late as you need. So if I have a client, if I'm in there at 4:30 and I have a client that says, hey, can you get me in at 6 today? I'm getting you in at 6 today because, I value you and like I'm single. I don't got a whole lot to do, so it's whatever. But like they don't see the behind the scenes of I'm there 20 minutes early cleaning my station, making sure it's perfect for everyone. The sacrifice of having to bring towels home every single day and the sacrifice
a lot of prep work, cleaning your gear and equipment, right?
Like buying gear and equipment, making sure that I am up to date on haircuts and education and products and knowing what is going in your hair and what's not going in your hair and what's good for your hair and what's not. Like a lot of people just see like, oh, you make great money, but they don't see what I have to do to make good money. They just see, oh, you have money and you spend it. But it's like, because I've been in the shop for 50 hours this week, or I was the first one in there and I was the last one to leave. Like I've always been like that. So it's just, they don't see how hard you actually work. They just see, oh, you're lucky and you just, you have it all together when it's, no, like I do so much behind the scenes that people don't realize.
Yeah, and that's what a good friend of mine too. You know him; he's one of your peers, but he's at a different barbershop. Eli.
Yeah.
He's like one of my philosophical brothers. Like we just go off on philosophy and conspiracies. So he's been on some podcasts too, and like he talks about that. Just the work that you barbers do is kind of it's a craft. Like it is a full craft, and it's like a solo craft.
Yeah, and it's
right.
an art.
You have a shop you can lean on, I'm sure like the shop you have now, Rabbits and Rocket Ships, those guys are hilarious.
Phenomenal people.
They're
I
so
work with the
cool.
greatest dudes ever.
We had them over here doing like an awkward family photo session with you guys. So go check out Lily's page if you want to see those and their individual pages.
Yeah.
We'll put those in the show notes too, if that's cool with you.
Yeah,
or
that'd be
maybe just
awesome.
the Rabbits and Rocket Ship
Yeah.
page so they can find,
Yeah.
Even if Lily's filled up, like I recommend going there. And it's a great shop.
Yeah, we have so many other barbers. We got Holden, Bailey, Nick. Like, they all do great cuts, and they're great guys. And you're going to come into our shop, and you're not just going to get a haircut, but you're going to get an experience.
Yeah.
You're going to leave. Like, my motto is I sell confidence. Like, you are going to leave feeling confident, feeling good, and feeling like you're ready to be out there. You're ready for your wives. Like,
Yeah.
we always have this joke that's like, well, your wife's going to let you back in now that you have a fresh cut, now that you look good.
Yeah, I heard Nick say that one time.
Yeah, so we
He's
say
like,
that all the time.
Yeah, he's like, we got to get you back in good standing with your wife or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super funny, guy. Like, I jive with them. They're my people.
Yeah.
Right,
They're
like-
fun.
Holden literally reminds me of my little brother.
I love that.
But like, yeah, we're just talking about like latest games or like Warhammer, like the nerdiest shit. That's the one thing Lila can't hang with the nerd. Like we go deep on the nerds.
I just
and
cut
she's
the
like,
beard while he's doing that.
Whatever. You guys are weird. But yeah,
I hear it all day.
yeah. So they're great guys, great shop, great
Yeah,
atmosphere.
They're awesome. They really like I say this with love, but they're the brothers that I never wanted. So I'm an only child, but they are phenomenal.
That's funny.
Yeah, they always are teasing me and
Yeah,
stuff like that. That's why I always say they're the brothers I never wanted.
I think y'all should do a podcast. That's still my
Clippers
thought.
and comedy. We've
That's
come up with
you
a
got
name.
the name. That's that one.
So I've been trying to convince them. I think we can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Come here. We'll do some trial episodes for
Yeah.
fun. No obligation. Just see.
Yeah,
Give
it's
you guys
so
the
fun.
content is like a test.
Yeah.
But so as far as the content goes, we'll get back on track here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're using social media as a tool. What kind of like tactics or habits are you doing to remind yourself or to make the content happen? What's the process? So every Monday, do you have like an alarm that goes off? Do you have a reminder?
I just know, like,
just know.
I'm like, okay, it's Monday, because Monday's my day off. So that's so I take Monday off, and Sunday's kind of my relaxed day, get to hang out with my family, my friends, do that. And then Monday's my, like, business day. So I'm getting my towels done. I'm going to buy product. I'm cleaning my station. I'm posting on Instagram. Like, I'm doing all the things I got to do.
Nice.
So I always just remember Mondays are, like, my business day. I got to post on social media. I got to do this. I got to do that. And this is another crazy thing. You can edit this out because this one's going to be kind of wild. But like I'm LDS, grew up LDS, still practice, and I pay my tithing. Like I contribute a lot of.
You still pay tithing?
Yes, dude. I still pay my tithing. Whether I haven't been to church in a couple months, pay my tithing every single week. And so I pay my tithing, and then I have the faith, and then I have bookings. So there's been times where I haven't posted, haven't paid my tithing, haven't had any clients. Paid my tithing, posted on Instagram, full week booked on one Monday. Call it faith, call it
I like that.
call it tithing, call it social media, but
I like that.
yeah, so
That's good. That's good. So like, yeah, whatever the ritual is, so you have a ritual built around the social media
yeah.
and a little bit extra in there.
Yeah.
Pay the man up top. You
Yeah.
know, get the blessings.
Get the blessings.
That's awesome though. So any other processes? I mean, when you guys make a funny video, or you're like,
So I kind of just so I didn't really get into making videos until like just a couple of weeks ago. I started just seeing so I have a friend Piper. She does estheticianing stuff in Boise, Idaho, Twin Falls. She's great. If you're there, hit her up. And she started making all these reels, and they were so funny, and like all of her clients were commenting on them, and they loved them. And I was like, you know what, I think I want to get into that. So I started just finding like voiceovers and just coming up with content and ideas. And I'm pretty good. Like I just see stuff online too, and just use other people's ideas, and then use that to spark my own ideas. So I'm also our social media manager for the shop. So I run our Instagram on the shop and do all that.
oh, that's the Rabbits and Rocket Ship page. So you
Yeah.
can find them on Instagram too.
Yeah, so I run that as well.
That's awesome.
So I run 3 different business Instagrams. So
That's okay. That's what we want to talk about is your third one. So our recent Mal can chime in here too, but I think there's some potential here with this third option because Lily came in the other day and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to launch beard oil." So tell us about that.
So I'm getting ready to launch a beard company. It's called Texas Tea Beard Company. Many of you have probably seen me with an Australian Shepherd hooked to the back of me. Her name's Texas.
Oh yeah.
She's
all over your page.
Yeah, she's all over my page. She's 3 years old. She's who I named my company after because she's the one that keeps me going, and she comes to work with me every single day. She's my
the barbershop
companion.
dog.
Yeah, she's a barbershop dog. She's just as much of a barber as I am at this point. She vets my guys for me. She tells me who I shouldn't be cutting and who I should be cutting.
Yeah, does she pick up on some weird vibes sometimes?
Oh yeah, she has been more clients than not. Like she gets a vibe. Like some she loves and some she gives me little like warnings about them, and most of the time she's been right.
Yeah. So was that a warning the other day when she came up and she like nuzzled my hand? Like,
oh no, that's because she wanted you to pet her. She likes you. If she nuzzles you, that's her wanting to pet you.
Good.
You'll walk in and she'll just go nip your shin and then run back.
Oh really?
Like she's just a little crackhead.
So talk about that. Has she ever like is it the vibes come true? Like you got
yes.
like Texas was uneasy. She was unsettled.
Yeah.
You like cut a person's hair, whatever, and then anything like that.
Yeah. So I actually like a couple months ago I had like a guy that she just never liked. She always tried to bite him. She always tried to like nip at him. And then he ended up in jail for some sexual crimes.
Oh my god!
And I was like, you know what?
Oh, was that the bald guy you guys were pulling up?
No, this was a different guy.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I love dogs. Like we have studio dogs here. You know them.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, this is how close Lily is with Mal and I. She's actually watched our dogs before. Before you got Texas,
Yeah.
we needed a dog sitter. And I just was like, hey, do you want a dog? And you were like, of course. And so you watched our dogs while we were on, where were we, Mal? With Vegas or something?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. It might have been a family trip with your family. But yeah, it's cool. So that's how close we are with Lily. But yeah, so she's been a great friend.
Yeah, she's awesome. So she inspired my company, Texas Tea Beard Company. So I was getting ready to launch soon. So watch for that.
Yeah, we're working on some ads right now.
Some marketing. So
yeah, we've had a creative planning session. And then, by the way, how's your props coming? You're getting some props?
Good. They're in the mail.
They're in the mail? Good.
They're shipping.
Good. And then, we got to find a printer, someone who could print.
Yeah.
So, coming soon. But you just launched your page. Sorry, you just did your first post on your Instagram page.
Yep.
Yeah, like literally, I liked it as you were pulling up.
Yeah, I have a bunch.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Mel, from your standpoint as a female business owner, how do you think Lily's doing?
I think Lily's kicking ass.
Thank you.
She is. It's cool.
Anyone who is willing to leave their, W-2 9 to 5 to make something of their own, male or female, it's fucking hard. And people who make it happen, it's something to applaud.
It is.
Agreed.
It is, and it's not easy at all.
It's not, because people don't understand like the little things that go into it. You have to have liability insurance. You got to have a business license. Like you got to have so many little things that people just don't.
Taxes. Like
I have a tax guy. I have to pay taxes. Like I don't get taxes. Like I get paid every single day, and I have to allocate a percentage of that into an account every single day that I get paid so that I make sure I have enough money for taxes.
Yeah.
And that's not something that everyone... I've watched barbers come in and they make $10,000 in 1 month and they spend $10,000 in 1 month.
Idiots.
Were you saving money for taxes?
Yeah. Or for a rainy day.
Or for anything. Yeah, just anything. Yeah. But like mainly, there's so many things that you got to save for. And
Did you start out like that, or did you make some mistakes along the way?
I made some mistakes.
Yeah.
I started like my first year in making money. I was making money, not putting any of it aside. And then bam, I owed $4,000 in taxes.
Yeah.
And who didn't have $4,000? Moi. Yeah. So I saved it. I saved like $3,000 within like a month and a half, and then mom and dad helped with the rest.
Yeah.
But you learn real fast. Like after that, I have never needed money from mom and dad. Like, was like, nope, I'm not doing that. So now I allocate money for.
They're like, hey, we run a business too. We got you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like.
But
I think that's important. It's almost like a rite of passage for business owners, because we've done the same thing. We're getting caught up on the last 2 years of taxes.
Yeah,
because we just got behind. We were so busy doing other things.
Yeah,
and like we almost lost our company last year, right? Like we had like $60. This is the typical like bootstrapping your business from the ground up story. Like I had $60 in my account, to end the year with, and that's where we started last year, 2024. But it was one of the best years we've ever had on paper. And like we're looking at the tax bill, like shit.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, like ready. I pay quarterly, so I'm
Smart.
prepared. And then I usually get a tax return back.
Yeah.
So mom got me on the quarterly because mom and dad own a business. So
how much do you lean on your mom and dad's experience? You talk to them a lot about that?
Every single day.
Every single day?
My mom and dad have been the number one supporters. Mom
Coaches.
and dad paid for school. They put me through school. They allowed me to not have a job while I was in school so that I could focus solely on school. They paid my rent. They paid everything so that I could follow my dream. I'm an only child, and so it's been cool to have my mom and dad. Like, I just launched my beard company. First thing I did was bawl my eyes out, call my mom, and was like, Mom, guess what I just did? I just launched my first thing, and, we're both sitting there in tears, and Mom and dad have helped me with everything. Mom helps me get my business licenses. She reminds me when I need to pay my taxes. She does all my taxes for me with my tax guy. So mom and dad have been the number one supporters, and they own a company, and so they're able to be like, hey, this is going to work for you, this is not going to work for you. And luckily, being an only child, like I went everywhere with my mom and dad with their business, job sites, them painting stuff. They own a painting construction company, and so I went everywhere with them, and I was observant. I watched a lot of what they did, and like my parents didn't think that I picked up on a lot of what they were doing, that I was just in my own world. And now they're like, wow, like you did pay attention to everything that we did. And
That's so cool.
I've been able to kind of have them to be like, this is not going to work for you, this is going to work for you, and stuff like that. And so it's been cool. And I've been able to help them with their business as well, with, helping like, hey, Mom, this worked for me, you guys should try this with your business. And so we kind of bounce back off of each other, and it's cool. Dad was the first one I ever butchered, and
you mean like you screwed up his hair?
Yeah, screwed up his haircut.
You didn't like actually butcher your dad.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but that man wouldn't even let me touch his beard or mustache for the first
Lily's
year.
just admitting to murder on the podcast.
She's like, I killed my father.
I killed my father.
No, you killed his beard.
Yeah.
So he let you butcher it once and then never let.
He let me butcher his hair.
Oh,
and then he was like, "You're not touching the beard." I've been barbering for almost 5 years. And my dad, 6 months ago, just let me start touching his mustache.
Just barely.
Just barely.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm like, gosh dang it, Dad.
People are very protective, right? Have you ever screwed up a client's hair? Like,
oh, bad. I have a story. Okay.
Tell the story.
This one's so there was a guy that had like a beard that was probably about the same length as Blake's, and he walks in and he's like, hey, I just want a beard trim. I'm like, okay, I got you. And so he's like, I want a one on the sides and to keep this long like a goatee, but I want everything super short. And I'm like, okay, are you sure? Because your beard is quite long and that's taking quite a lot down. And he's like,
he's gonna
yes.
look like Jafar at the end of it.
Yeah. And I'm like sectioning it out, and I'm like, are you sure you want to take it that short? Like, I just want a one all right here. And I was like, okay, like that's what you want. So I did it. And then he's like, I wanted you to fade it. And I was like, well, you didn't say that. And he's like, well, I don't have to tell my barber that up north. I'm like, well, I'm not your barber from up north. I don't know you. I don't know your beard. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, that's why it's risky.
Yeah. And so then he made me just take it all off, and I felt really bad, but
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's risky. But at least you tried clarifying.
Yeah, I do try it because I am a big clarifier. Like, I'm a conservative barber. So you tell me you want 3 inches off, I'm taking probably 1. And most of the time they're like, looks great. And I'm like, see? See?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, a lot of people, I could make a 3-inch joke about a lot of guys, but that'd be funny.
Half my clientele. Love you guys.
But, yeah, exactly. That's funny. That would be a great joke at the shop. Yeah, Nick would laugh. But anyway, the chick that messed up my hair in Salt Lake, it was the same thing. I took a risk. I needed a barber ASAP. The only one that was available was this woman. She was older, and she was so confident that she's going to cut my hair. And I was like, okay, like I just need a trim. Like, she faded my hair. Okay. We're going to find a picture because it was bad. I was on a podcast the next day.
Oh yeah, you were pissed.
And I had a beard. It was full like this, and she took me down to like a chin strap. Like, I was just like, I just need a trim.
Strap.
Just line up the cheeks. And she took down like literally to where my hand is right now. It was like a chin strap. So I looked like Fred Durst. Like I'm about to go up with Limp Bizkit and just be like, one of those days. I looked so bad. I just rolled with it and made fun of myself. But
Yeah,
I was livid. Like I said, I'm going to pay for your cut, but I'm not tipping you.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is atrocious. I'm like, I just want you to know. And the rest of the barbershop, like, because your guys are probably, every barbershop you've been at, you know, if you're in good terms with them, they're probably pretty protective about Lily.
Yeah.
Because you're like their little sister.
Yeah. Especially the barbershop I'm at now, very protective, which I love because I do have some dudes that are questionable. And so, like, we have like codes and stuff. Like, if I don't feel comfortable being left alone in the room with one of them, like, I'm able to like say something and they'll stay in there.
Yeah.
Or if I don't feel comfortable being like, hey, I get off in 30 minutes, it's dark outside, would you be willing to wait for me?
That's awesome.
They're waiting for me.
That's awesome.
Like, they are so, like, they're so awesome when it comes to me. And they just really take care of me and look after me and make sure I'm protected and taken care of. Especially because I'm always the last one out of the shop at night. So they're always like, you good? Like, we got stuff for you here if you need. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, so they're awesome people that help me. And so it's nice, especially Holden, because I'm best friends with his wife. So me and him are way closer than most because I'm always at his house and his wife's always
like
at my house. So
family kind of vibe.
Yeah, so he's like a brother.
Yeah, you guys are real tight. That's why I like the barbershop too. It's good vibes all around. Some days you'll go in there and there's like hip hop blasting, and then some days it's just like heavy metal.
Yeah, because I've also worked at other barbershops that the men didn't feel that way about me. They felt I was more competition. They were like, we don't think that females belong in the barbershop. I had a male barber at one of the barbershops I work at look me dead in my eyes and go, you only have a clientele because you're hot, not because your haircuts are good. I need you to know that. And I said, well, I'm both. I'm good and I'm hot, so now what?
Yeah, now what?
And I left. I left that barbershop, and I had a majority of his clientele follow me.
Whoa, really?
They were like, we love you. You talk to us. You are amazing. And and a lot of them, I hadn't even cut their hair. I had never even cut their hair, and they
You were
followed
just
me.
nice to them.
I was just nice to them and just greeted them and talked to them and had conversation with them, and here we are.
Well, here's the reality too, right? Like, my experience in barbershops, it shifted a little bit when I started seeing Lily, because there is obviously you're feminine, you're a girl, so. And when I was going to a barbershop, it was like bro healing. Like, not much is said, but, you know, we check in. You know, you might hear like, oh, you know, how's work? Oh, shit, this fucking guy. And how's the missus? You know, I'm never in their good graces.
Yeah.
So that's how a lot of guys are too. And whether it's their fault or not, I can't be the judge of every single situation. I just know a lot of guys, they're carrying the weight of their family. You know, they're trying to provide, they're trying to do XYZ at work, and they don't have respect anywhere they go. So they sit in a barber chair, and it's like a little bit of respect, you know, like, I got you, bro. Let me cut, you know. Yeah. Someone's out there kind of brushing them up, give them a clean shave. And so that's like it's a kind of a safe haven for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So I could see why people would think you're a threat, which is stupid. But I can see like the old, it's just, they're just intimidated, right?
Yeah.
Because you do have something, I tell Mal all the time, like when clients come over and Mal is looking, we got to get Mal on video. Mal, you got to get on the show. Like,
Agreed.
She's such a babe.
Agreed.
She's such a babe, and she gets dolled up, and like this feminine energy like comes out. Because when people see me, like, I'm a jolly, happy-go-lucky guy, but I'm masculine. Like I'm just a dude. Like, I got a beard. I got like war stories and stuff. You know, like I can be as funny as I can, but I still can't add feminine energy like an attractive woman can. So it's really cool. You have a great dichotomy with that, where you can allow a guy to feel kind of just relaxed. And it's like a good feminine energy. And they might not be getting that anywhere else. Yeah. Just like, hey, how are you? What?
Yeah. And it's nice because, like, I am kind of best of both worlds. Like, I grew up in hunting camp. I grew up around men most of my life. Like, I'm way more comfortable with men than I am women. So I'm able to be a bro and be a girl to them. Like, I'm able to give them either girly advice or be like, from a girl's perspective, or like a lot of them need help with their girlfriends and stuff like that. So I'm able to give them that advice. But I'm also able to talk to my guys about hunting and fishing. Like, I have guys that are like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, dude, I hunt and I fish and I do all the dude things. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, that's amazing. And so then we sit there and we talk. And so I have that factor of growing up tomboy, but also being feminine, and I make it work for myself.
I remember that. Sitting in your chair, you were showing me hunting pictures of your, like, a recent hunt. I remember that. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. And you'll, like, I'll bring something up and you're like, oh, what you? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just wearing helmets more. Right, like doing stuff at the range or whatever, and like you're just aware of like the guy world a little bit. So it's very relaxing. I can see why people would follow, because if they go sit down with their barber, like, cool, like secretly they're probably looking forward. Oh, like, oh yeah, Lily's gonna be nice to me today. And like when you have a feminine energy being nice to you, it's the feminine is where the masculine like finds peace.
Exactly. So, yeah. I even had a guy in my chair today. My last client today goes, I hadn't seen him in 6 months. And he goes, you know what? You are exactly what I needed today. You filled my cup. Like, we had great conversation, you know? And so it's awesome because I get to fill up a lot of my clients' cups, but vice versa. Like, a lot of them fill up my cup and make me feel good and make me feel great. Like, I have guys that I could be stranded on the side of the road and call Hayden and say, hey, dude, like, I need a ride now. And they're there. I even had, like, I went on a date with someone. He got us into a car accident. I called one of my clients and said, I do not feel safe driving with this guy. Can you please come get me? And he was there like that.
Oh, shit.
Like, I have guys that, you know, I have the Rolodex of, you know, things. So it's kind of nice. Like, my guys are willing to help me with a lot, and they hold precious. They're precious in my heart, and I think kind of vice versa. So it's cool to have a clientele that like truly cares for you and that you truly care for. Because I see a lot of these people, they just pump people in and out. They don't have that. Like, a lot of my clients I hang out with outside of the barbershop. I text them, we talk, like, we go hang out, we go to the bar, we go drink, you know.
We build content ads.
Like, we all...
That's going to be sweet, by the way.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know. I love all my clients. Like, they're
you dog
great.
sit?
I dog sit. I even babysit some of my clients' kids.
That's cool.
Babysit, nanny their kids, you know, babysit their dogs and hang out with their wives. Like, I love when guys are like, dude, I want to bring my wife to meet you. Like, you guys would get along so well. So, yeah. It's been fun. You
remember when Mal first showed up?
Yeah.
Is that the barber?
It's always a little stressful because I've either had, like, I had one woman, I cut her son's hair, and she goes, yeah, I would never in a million years let my husband come get a haircut by you. You're way too cute. And I was like, okay. I mean, I want your husband's money, not your husband, but
that's
cool.
That's kind of concerning for like, why are you in that relationship, lady?
Yeah, I know. I was like, ooh. But that's also another big struggle being a female barber is the dating world. Oh, well, the wives and the dating world.
Oh, like, yeah. You wanted to touch on that too. We'll wrap it up on this one, but tell us. So the number one struggle for you personally,
the dating world.
Dating world. Why so? Because you got a lot of creepy guys, or like? No,
like, men think they're okay with you being around men all day until they see you being around men all day, and you tell them the things. Like, I had one guy tell me that this is when I was early into barbering. He was like, if you keep doing this, like, you're gonna have to quit your job because I don't like you around men all day. Well, I quit him. So,
didn't quit barbering, you just quit the guy.
Yeah, I just quit the guy. Yeah, not barbering. And so now I tell every person that I like have a potential with, like, hey, like, I'm around men all day. Like, I'm getting hit on. Like, I'm respectful towards you and not, you know, I'm not flirting back. I'm not hitting on them. I'm being respectful. But, like, men are men and they're still going to do, you know, what they do. And so they think that they're like, oh, yeah, like, you can be around men all day. Like, that's fine. And then it comes to it. And then they're like,
they're insecure.
And it doesn't work. Yeah. And so I'm going to have to find someone that's very secure in who they are, loves who they are, and can also be friends with my clients. Like,
just marry another barber. He's right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, then you guys, I would say this. Mal can affirm this too. She'll probably chime in. Don't work with your spouse.
Yeah.
Unless you're willing to do the work.
Yeah.
It's about, what would you say? What's the multiplying factor, Mal? When you work with your spouse, is it 2 times harder? Is it 5? Is it 100? What would you say?
A billion.
A billion?
Well, you also have to factor in my parents own a company together. I've watched them leave their marriage at the front door of their business for 24 years of my life. Their marriage and their business are two different entities. And so that's how, for me, that's how I've always worked. Whether I have X, Y, and Z going on, I'm leaving it at the door before I walk in. I'm not bringing in my stuff into the barbershop. I'm not, you're going to see me the same every day, happy, go lucky, and ready for you to be in my chair.
That's a good plug. That's a clip right there.
Yeah.
Mal, do you think we got some good clips out of this?
Yeah, I've been writing some down.
Yeah.
Hello.
Because I think that's the hardest part for me and Mal is our marriage is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Before we started the business together, we hardly ever argued.
Mm-hmm.
It was just team. And then we start a business together, and I have an ego because I have a dope resume too. So
it
comes with it.
Test your patience.
And then Mal has probably the best work ethic that I've ever seen. Even more than dudes, bar none, human. She has the best work ethic I've ever seen.
I love that.
To a point where it's a fault, right? Because your greatest strength also can circle back on you and be a fault, Yeah,
that's how I know my mom. The other day, she was like, "So you're a workaholic?" I was like, "Probably," but I would much rather be a workaholic than someone that doesn't know how to work at all. I've worked with people that I don't have someone in my chair for the next 2 hours. I'm just gonna go home. Where me, I was sitting there waiting for that walk-in to come in, whether they came in or not. I was waiting, and 98% of the time I got it.
Posting, texting, calling. Got an availability. I've even seen that on your story midweek. You're just had some spots open up.
Yeah.
And then if I missed your Monday reminder, I was like, oh shit, I got in. I'm now it's a Thursday, and I booked it Thursday morning because you're doing the work, and even if you're just sitting there. So that's a huge indicator for success. And so Mal and we're succeeding, and it's been rough. We work together. We're with each other. How often, Mal?
99% of the time.
Hey, baby. We're with each other all the time. So it's really easy to take that for granted. But sometimes it slaps you in the face. Today I woke up and I'm just dude, our life is so sick. We've turned our whole house. It's hard for us to leave work at the door when it's inside the door. So that's a challenge for us, but we've talked about that on other shows, so I'll leave it at that. But Lily, where can people find you?
I'm all over social media. So Instagram, I'm at the tatted barber _. You can find my beard company, Texas Tea Beard Company, online. I'm Lillian Dalen on TikTok. I have post some barbering stuff on there. So that's where you can find me, or at the gym. Yeah.
Or at Rabbits and Rocket Ships if you want to do a walk-in. See if you're lucky enough to get Lily or any of the other barbers there. They're phenomenal dudes.
I do not take walk-ins. I only take appointments only. So if you walk in, you are not going to get availability with me, but you will get availability with all the other guys. I'm just appointment-based only, so keep that in mind.
That's good to know. Yeah. Because, don't... well, you could walk in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Mal, anything you would like to add from your point of view? We got to get you on one of these.
We just think Lily's dope. She's out there killing it in the barbering world, and she puts in the work, and it shows. And we appreciate and love her.
Yeah, and we're thrilled that we're going to help you with some ads for your beard oil as well.
I'm stoked.
That's going to be cool.
I know. I'm super excited.
Right on. Well, that's it. So thanks for joining us on another episode of Your Content Factory. Again, Lily Dalen. And we'll see you guys out there. But just remember, love, peace, and hair grease, baby.
Hell yeah.